Hi, I am doing my recap or my review of Desperate Housewives. Finished it yesterday, and I'm so glad it's over. 8 seasons. Only one season had like 17 episodes. Rest have like 23. One had 24 episodes, and that's too many, in my opinion, for a season. But I've seen, I've seen it. I didn't hate it. Um, I actually liked a lot of the storyline, but there were a lot that frustrated me. There were a lot I didn't care about. Like they had like characters killed off that I didn't care about. Um, except for Karen, played by Catherine Justin, and Ida. I don't remember the actress's name, but the actress who played Ida died in 2000, yeah, last year, and I didn't know that, so I was kind of sad when I looked her up and I found that out. And then Catherine Justin, she died in 2012, 20 days after her character died in the finale. Um, and I was kind of upset that they didn't have a funeral scene for her, but for the finale. But I just really, I don't know. I wanted it to be over so bad, and it is, and I'm glad because I can't watch it anymore. But my favorite character is Lynette. It was Brie, and then I just got frustrated with her because she kept being manipulated. She kept not thinking before she got into a relationship, before she talked to people, before she tried to befriend people. She was just like too. I know she's supposed to be like proper and have manners and be a lady and all this stuff, but like she would go and change that and then go. He would constantly make her go back to the way she used to be, and then she would change and be like a different person, and they kept making her go back and forth, which I know it's like it's not easy to change, but I feel like they forgot like what they were doing with her at some point. um but I do think when they buried Gabby's stepfather, I feel like Brie showed what an amazing friend she was, and the fact that they stopped talking to her at some point was bullshit. It was like made me mad because she did so much for them, and again, amazing friend. But like, she's not my favorite anymore because I couldn't stand how she wasn't thinking. She was always like, okay, well, this guy's being nice to me, or this person's being nice to me, so they must be good people. And every time she would get screwed over, and then she'd be like, oh my god. And it's like, bitch, we've been here before. Like, oh, but, um, but Lynette was my favorite throughout the whole series. Felicity Hoffman, obviously she's no good, but I loved Lynette and Tom. I love the Scoville family so much. They're one of my favorite TV families now. Uh, and Tom Lynette, one of my favorite TV couples. Um, I will say I did love Brie and Keith, and I wish that he could have stayed longer. Um, I don't know if Brian Austin Green, who played him, had something else he was doing at the time, but I wish I could have lasted a little bit longer. I really did like them together. Um, I know people liked Orson and Brie, and I did for a little bit, and then he comes back in the 8th season for a bit, and I was like, I'm tired of this storyline. I don't like it. So, um, I'm glad they didn't end up together because, oh my god, that storyline got old real quick. Um, Gabby, I understand she's like selfish and whatever, but they do the same thing with her every episode. Like it seems to me, like she forgets what's important in life, her family, and then she's reminded of it, and she's like, okay, I'll put my selfishness aside and I'll help my family, and then Next episode, she's back at being selfish and self-absorbed, and then something happens, and she's like, "Oh, I need to focus on my family," and it's like the same shit every time. Like Carlos wanting to be a counselor, and at first she's against it, and then she's fine with it because Mike gets killed, and she wants to support her husband, and then she has a problem with it again, and it's like doesn't she's never consistent ever. She's never It's never like, oh, she's selfish. That's who she is. It's never she's learned a lesson. She's gonna be a better person, and it's always like she starts from the beginning, and she's always being like, oh, okay, well now I learned a lesson in this episode that doesn't carry on into the next episode, and it's weird. Um, I But then Susan, I hate Susan a lot. Um, she's one of those characters that's supposed to be like good, the good character, the compassionate one. But she's a bitch, and I don't like her. I don't think she's a good mother. I don't think she's a good friend. Um, I don't think she's a good anybody, anything. And I know it's like, well, her intentions were good. They weren't most of the time. Like when her daughter wanted to give her baby up for adoption, and I made it seem like it's the worst thing you could ever do was to give a baby up for adoption, and she said it was selfish, and I was like, okay, I didn't like her before, and then I didn't like her definitely during that. So, but she's annoying. No offense to Terry Hatcher, maybe she's fine, but like Susan, oh my god, kind of. I've been wanting to do like my least favorite TV characters of all time video, and if I do that, she's gonna be on the list. Gabby might be, although like I think that's such drives me crazy, but she doesn't bug me as much as Susan did. But Susan just like God. But oh my god, Karen. Oh my god, the second to last episode when she goes on the stand for Brie, and like Karen is a queen, and I love her. And I'm still sad that she's gone. The actress is gone because she was in a lot of stuff, a lot, and I saw her in a lot of stuff, and I just love her so much. But Renee, I think she was supposed to be the Edie after Nicolette Sheridan left, but she couldn't pull that off at all. And I loved Edie, by the way. I liked her. Nicolette Sheridan was great as Edie, and I hate that they killed her off. Mike got killed off. I don't care about him at all. If it was Tom, oh my god, that would have been so sad. If it was Carlos, I would have been sad. I love Carlos. I love Carlos and Gabby so much. It's another thing I forgot to mention. I love Carlos and Gabby. Like I said, Gabby can drive me crazy, but when she's with Carlos, they're so good together, and he brings out a better side of her. They bring out a better side of each other, and they're both competitive, and they're both hot-headed, and they both have tempers, and they just work so well together. And they're not like a cute couple. They're like real, and same with Tom and Lynette. They're not cute. They're real, and I love them so much. I love both couples so much, just because they they belong with that person. Like Gabby belongs with Carlos, and Lynette belongs with Tom because they understand their spouses more than anybody else. No, understand them. So they just make sense. I didn't care about Susan or Mike. I didn't care about MJ. I didn't care about Julie. And I find it funny that the Carver twins were in this. And then Teen Wolf, they were in that. When I was a kid, I don't remember which one it is, but it's just interesting where they started and where they are now. But yeah, what else? There was a lot of drama behind the scenes. I love Andrew, couple, and I liked Andrew. There you go. Danielle, not so much. Um, but what am I? There's just so much drama. I don't. It seems to me there's a lot of drama behind the scenes because so many people left. Edie or Nicole, like that Sheridan, she didn't want to do the show anymore. She was killed off, but there was a lawsuit because I don't think she really wanted to be killed off. She just wanted to be written off, and she was killed off. So, I remember that lawsuit. Um, and then like the actor who played Zach, he didn't want to do the show anymore. Andrew, he wanted a break from the show. Um, there was an actress who played Penny, one of the daughters, the daughter of Lynette and Tom, one of the older daughters, and she left and replaced her with somebody else. Um, and then the original twins on Desperate Housewives, they didn't want to act anymore, and so they were replaced with the Carver twins, which is fine because they got to age up everybody. Everybody got to 5 years in the future. I don't know if that's why they did it, but probably. I think that's why, because the original twins didn't want to do acting anymore, so you did to get everyone aged up, so it would make sense. I love Onita and Celia. They were really funny, and I liked them a lot, actually. And I did like Gabby's relationship with her kids. I thought she was a good mother. Um, oh, and what else? There was some. I don't remember. Like, oh, MJ. Yeah, and I mentioned I didn't like MJ. Mike and Susan's child, but he wasn't in it in season 7, and he was barely in it during season 8, and he was 9 years old. And so, like, where the hell was he? Like, I don't understand. Like, they were like, he's at school, he's at soccer practice, at baseball practice, like every single day of his life. Um, so like when Mike died, and there was the episode where MJ is like struggling, I was like, I don't care. The actor who played MJ, I'm gonna say it, he wasn't that good. So, I think that's it. The 8th season, I will have to say, is my least favorite season of the series. Because the storyline and Susan was just extra annoying during season 8, so I don't like season 8. But that's it. I have no idea what my next show is gonna be. I was gonna do an Everwood rewatch because it was on Hulu while I was watching Desperate Housewives, and it's not on there anymore now that I finished Desperate Housewives. So that's fun. But that is all. Goodbye.